Hello, everybody. I watched cable for the first time in a while recently, and I saw this ad that started like, "Do you or a loved one have mesothelioma?" I was like, "Okay, that's a prescription drug ad, right?" There's gonna be a section where they're like, "Side effects include every disease ever and or death." You know, that's like every prescription drug ad. But then the guy in the ad says, "Call for the free meso book and get so much more." So this whole 2-minute ad that this company paid for is to advertise a free book about mesothelioma that you have to call them to get. The weirdest thing to me is the part where they say, and get so much more. What is this so much more? It's a book. There's a finite number of pages, and the words are already printed. New things don't magically appear once you start reading it. You understand that, right? It's just a book. Also, this is like the most convoluted way ever of getting information about something. You have to like watch this ad, and then you have to like scramble and try and find a piece of paper and a pen. And you find a pen, and then you try and writing with it. But then like you realize that like the tip is like kind of dry, so you gotta shake it a bit, and then you scratch it, and it's still like kind of iffy. But then the ad's about to end, so like, oh god, I gotta copy this number down. So you write really hard to get all the ink out when you write it, and it looks really bad, but you kind of got the numbers down. And then you gotta like call and talk to a stranger, but you're Gen Z and socially anxious, so you gotta like mentally prepare for that, you know. And then 10 hours later, you're on the phone with a stranger and you're like sweating because you're anxious because you're Gen Z and socially awkward, you know. And then you finally get the book in the mail like 6 weeks later. Or, you know, you could have just like taken your phone out and Googled mesothelioma, and then you would have actually gotten so much more. I mean, I guess Google is stealing our data anyways, but it's faster, right? Speaking of capitalism, I remember this one time I was on a Delta Airlines flight a while ago, because, you know, that was a thing that used to happen in the past. And the flight was pretty normal at first, but then it got pretty weird pretty quickly. My dad asked the flight attendant for a glass of water, and then the guy was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll get you a glass of water." And then, like, he went and then got my dad a glass of water. So, like, on paper, it looks like a normal interaction. But, like, the guy, like, said, "I'll get you a glass of water." Like, it was, like, a funny thing. Like, the idea of water was just hilarious. It was very weird. And then, the flight attendants, besides him, were also pretty weird. I remember every once in a while, I would hear them having a conversation in the back, and someone would just be like, "Yeah, I drink orange juice occasionally." And then everyone starts dying laughing. Like, they're hysterically laughing. Like, this is not human behavior. That's not how people act. My theory is that, like, there was originally, like, a group of, like, flight attendants, but then, like, the day before the flight, they got kidnapped by some aliens, and the aliens replaced them and stole their uniforms and had to work as flight attendants for the day. And they were just, like, laughing hysterically at the fact they're pretending to be human, you know? That's the only possible explanation. I'm sorry. The vibe with the pilot, though, was really different. Because, like, the flight attendants were kind of just like, "Woohoo! I will never die!" And then the pilot, whenever you go on the intercom, he would be like, looks like we're approaching our destination, which is, Miami?" You know, it was like the most sad, like, confusing voice ever. So we were flying towards the airport. We were really close, but then we flew past the airport, and then we were flying out into the open ocean. And then this pilot gets on the intercom, and he's like, "Thank you for flying Delta. You think you guys are loyal customers? We're offering a Delta rewards plan where you can get points for every 3 miles. And then this guy keeps rambling on in this sad, melancholic voice. And then all of a sudden, the plane turns sharply left and starts flying directly towards downtown Miami. So I guess the moral of the story is, maybe it's not that bad we can't fly right now.